Today I'm going to be doing things slightly differently because today's movie needs a little bit more of an introduction. Actually, it needs a history lesson. So, the Amityville Horror. After all of the production logos for this movie, the first thing we see is based on a true story. I highly doubt this actually occurred. And here's the history. In December of 1975, George and Kathleen Lutz and their 3 children moved into 112 Ocean Boulevard, which is a large Dutch colonial house in Amityville, a suburban neighborhood on the south shore of Long Island, New York. 13 months before the Lutzes moved in, Ronald DeFeo Jr. had shot and killed the 6 members of his family in that house. After 28 days, the Lutzes left the house claiming to have been terrorized by paranormal phenomena while living there. Ronald DeFeo Sr. was a hot-tempered man given to bouts of rage and violence. There were stormy fights between him and Louise, his wife, and he loomed before his children as a demanding, authoritative figure. As the eldest child, Ronald Jr. bore the brunt of his father's temper and expectations. As a young boy, Ronald Jr., or Butch, as he would come to be called, was overweight and sullen, the victim of schoolyard taunts, and unpopular with other children. His father encouraged him to stick up for himself, but his advice pertained to the treatment of his schoolyard bullies. It apparently did not apply to how young Ronald was treated at home. Ronald Sr. had no tolerance for backtalk or disobedience, keeping his eldest son on a short leash and refusing to let him stand up for himself the way he was commanded to at school. As Butch matured into adolescence, he gained in size and strength, and was no longer a sitting duck for his father's abuse. Shouting matches often degenerated into boxing matches, as father and son came to blows with little provocation. While Ronald Sr. was not highly skilled in the art of interpersonal relations, he was astute enough to realize that his son's bouts of temper and violent behavior were highly irregular, even in relation to his own. He and his wife arranged for their son to visit a psychiatrist, but to no avail, as Butch simply employed a passive-aggressive stance with the therapist and rejected any notion that he himself needed help. In the absence of any other solution, the DeFeos employed a time-honored strategy for placating unruly children. They started buying Butch anything he wanted and giving him money. At the age of 14, his father presented him with a $14,000 speedboat to cruise the Amityville River. By the age of 17, Butch was forced to leave the school he was attending. By this time, he had begun using serious drugs such as heroin and LSD. He had also started dabbling in petty thievery schemes. At the age of 18, regardless of whether or not he showed up for work, he received a cash allowance from his father at the end of each week. This he used for the car his parents also purchased, for alcohol, and for drugs such as speed and heroin. Altercations with his father were growing ever more frequent and correspondingly more violent. One evening, a fight broke out between Mr. and Mrs. DeFeo. In order to settle the matter, Butch grabbed a 12-gauge shotgun from his room, loaded a shell into the chamber, and charged downstairs to the scene of the altercation. Without hesitating or calling out to break up the fight, Butch pointed the barrel of the gun at his father's face, yelling, "Leave that woman alone, I'm going to kill you, you fat fuck." Butch then pulled the trigger, but the gun mysteriously did not go off, Ronald Sr. froze in place, then watched in grim amazement as his own son lowered the gun and simply walked out of the room with casual indifference to the fact that he had almost killed his father in cold blood. That fight was over, but Butch's actions foreshadowed the violence he would soon unleash not only upon his father, but his entire family. So with that unhappy note, we shall continue. I don't believe in ghosts. I'm sorry, but I just don't. 3:15. Okay. Please stop with the flickering, you're annoying me.
What's wrong, Ronnie?
Hiding in the closet with the lights on defeats the purpose of hiding.
I love you, Jody.
That's why I must kill you.
Suffolk County Police, may I help you?
Everybody's dead.
What would you do dead?
They're dead. As in, no longer living.
You can call me whatever you want.
Anything?
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds? What are you doing in this movie? Nice eggs. Who doesn't know how to make eggs? Too good to be true? I think there has to be a catch. Don't these people watch the news or read the paper? Didn't people gossip back then?
But, you know, we've moved on. The whole town, it is a distant memory now.
Wow, just 13 months later and you've all moved on? What a nice neighborhood.
I'll work out of the basement, and you can, well, sell one of the kids.
Hey.
That's actually kind of funny. Well, of course, a video camera. Hearing voices. Yawn. Seeing a girl hang herself even though the family was shot. Yawn.
Hi, hon. Who are you talking to?
The girl who lives in my closet.
Yeah? And what's her name?
Jody.
Kids talking to ghosts. Yawn.
Where's Chelsea?
Chelsea? Chelsea? Chelsea?
Hey, give me your hand. Give me your hand, sweetie.
Chelsea, go to George.
Kids disappearing. Yawn. Mysterious noises. Yawn.
Ellie, gotta go pee.
Aren't you old enough to do that yourself? What, did his pajamas magically unfasten? 'Cause I so wanted to see this. Creepy figure. Yawn! Windows opening and chairs moving on their own. Lame effects a child could pull off if they had the right equipment. Blood draining from the light switch. Lame. 3:15. Okay, we get it.
Chelsea.
It's not Chelsea. stupid. Nice beard, Reynolds. What's your next movie after this, Moses? Holy shit, dude, you're watching kids! Cover up!
I'm Billy. Yeah, I got you the first time.
Honey, he has the hots for you. Duh.
Be right out.
What a great babysitter.
So do you French?
Do I what?
Kissing, tongues.
Jesus Christ, he's 12!
Oh, back, 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 back! He went room to room, splattering their heads as they slept. He killed his brothers in this very room. Right here. In these beds.
You're a horrible person.
I'm totally freaking you out, kid. I suck at babysitting.
Yes, you do.
Jody says you're a bad babysitter.
That little shit got me fired.
I can't imagine why.
Look what Ronnie did.
I bet she'll never smoke again.
Come on, no, I'm not sleeping in that room. It's gross. Me neither.
Wipe that stupid look off your face and go to bed. Run.
Oh no, she's mad because he's being severe. Newsflash, honey. Severe parenting was hardly uncommon back then. Not that it's okay, but it wasn't exactly unknown either.
Discipline or torture?
Thought it was meatloaf.
Okay, now you're just being an ass.
Kill them.
The fuck? Something's going to appear in the bathroom. Told ya.
Oh my god!
She has pink Converse! Lucky brat.
Jody's real. She is not real!
You're right. Because the little girl that she represents was named Allison, not Jody. Now he's sleeping in the basement?
Now hold it steady. You get shaky. I get shaky. What, are you crying? Why are you crying? That wasn't so bad.
Fucking psycho!
We're friends. We're having fun, right?
Not if he's crying, no. Damn, and we're only at 51 minutes. Again, I say, lame. Not the dog. Damn it, you bastard! They're only flies, Father. Man, you are ill. Maggots. Yum. You're possessed now.
Chelsea!
The roof, I'm guessing. How predictable. Billy, what are you doing? Good boy!
Honey, come on. Come on. Oh, no. It's okay. No. Hurry, baby.
Michael, just jump!
Back the fuck up.
Good girl! The sign says high hopes. More like no hope.
Don't even look at it, Kathy. Let's get out of here.
That's it? You're gonna move on just like that when he tried to kill you? According to TrueTV.com, the supernatural phenomena that the Lilses described witnessing is too wide-ranging, which is to say that no one home could possibly hold enough demons, spooks, and etc. to cause everything they say happen to them. And this is coming from Dr. Kaplan, I believe. Kaplan, right? I'm sorry, I don't know. Who reviewed the case and even went into the house per the Liltz's request after the incidents occurred. And this is coming from his mouth, so we'll continue. For instance, George claims that a porcelain lion leapt from a corner of the living room and bit him on the ankle. Most likely he was hallucinating and it was their fucking dog. George saw a ghostly vision of Ronnie DeFeo Jr.'s head floating in the cellar. Once again, probably a hallucination. George and his wife Kathy believe they saw the burnt impression of a demonic hooded figure on their fireplace. What freaky drugs are you people taking? Kathy levitated above their bed. Kathy looked in the mirror and saw a decrepit elderly woman looking back. The toilets backed up with black smelly ooze, and the walls of the house were covered with slime. George and Kathy looked out their living room window and saw a floating pig with glowing red eyes. It's also been said that their daughter, Missy, not Chelsea, spoke to a pig-like creature named Jody. That truly did occur. Why would you stay so long? I'd get the fuck out as soon as it started happening. I mean, this movie tried to justify this by implying that George wouldn't let them, but there's no indication in this so-called original story that the real George Lutz wouldn't let them leave. There's also no indication that he tried to kill them either. Children have imaginary friends and will make them into whatever creature they wish. That's why they're imaginary, because they come from the child's imagination. If your child conjures up a pig-like creature with red eyes and names her Jody, either your child is severely disturbed or incredibly lonely. As for the rest of it, I would imagine the Lutzes got a lot of money for selling their story. So all I can really say is, attention whores? I mean, none of the stuff they described had anything to do with the real story of the DeFeos. In fact, it is all too convenient that this occurred in 1975 and The Exorcist was released in 1973. I wonder where Kathy got the idea of the levitating. Instead, this movie glamorizes the whole incident by creating a character named Ketchum and having the events begin with him torturing Indians in the basement of his house. The real Ronnie DeFeo was not possessed by the ghost of Ketchum, or was he told by said ghost to kill his entire family. No, Ronnie Jr. was an angry little bastard and saw his family as a nuisance. In fact, they allude to the real Ronnie's anger problems and troubled parenting in the movie by making Ryan's George Lutz go through a personality change. The story is just a huge mess, and it's just more people trying to bank off of the ridiculous notion that the real Lutzes were terrorized by a world unknown. People We have medication for this.